There once was a man named David. He did not believe in God. He thought everything was random. He thought there was no plan. David had a daughter named Sarah. She was a bright and kind girl. Sarah believed in God. She loved God very much. Sarah started everything with a special phrase. This phrase was Bismillah, ir-Rahman, ir-Rahim. She said it before she ate. She said it before she played. She said it before she started her homework. It was a part of her. David didn't understand the phrase. He didn't understand his daughter's faith. He loved her, but he wished she wouldn't say those words. He thought they were meaningless. Bismillah, ir-Rahman, ir-Rahim. This beautiful phrase means in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Muslims say it before they do anything. It is a way of remembering God. It is a way of asking for His blessings. Sarah knew the meaning of the phrase. She felt comfort in these words. They reminded her that God was always with her. She wanted to start everything with God's name. It made her feel safe. It made her feel loved. David saw how important the phrase was to Sarah, but he still didn't believe it. He thought it was just a habit. He thought she would grow out of it. David tried to talk to Sarah about her faith. He asked her why she said the phrase. "Why do you say those words, Sarah?" he asked one day. Sarah looked at her father with innocent eyes. "Because I love God, Daddy," she replied, "and I want to do everything with Him." David sighed. He didn't know how to explain his feelings. He didn't want to upset Sarah, but he also didn't want her to live with what he considered a fantasy. He decided to try a different approach. He would show her that the phrase didn't really change anything. "But what if nothing happens when you say it?" David asked. Sarah tilted her head. "What do you mean, Daddy?" she asked. David searched for the right words. "I mean, what if you say it and things don't go your way?" Section 4. The Test of Faith. David wanted to prove his point. He decided to test Sarah's faith. He had a plan. He would give her something precious. Then he would take it away secretly. David had a beautiful ring. It was his most prized possession. He decided to give it to Sarah. "Sarah, this is a special ring," he said. "Keep it safe for me, okay?" Sarah's eyes widened. She was honored that her father would trust her with something so valuable. "I will, Daddy. I promise," she said. She took the ring and carefully put it in her small jewelry box. That night, while Sarah was asleep, David snuck into her room. He took the ring from her jewelry box. He felt a pang of guilt, but he told himself it was for her own good. He wanted her to see that the phrase didn't have any power. Section 5. A miraculous discovery. David took the ring to the ocean. He threw the ring as far as he could into the water. The ring sank beneath the waves. David returned home feeling a mix of guilt and determination. The next morning, David acted as if nothing had happened. He went about his day pretending everything was normal. Sarah, oblivious to her father's actions, went to admire the ring. She opened her jewelry box. It was empty. Panic surged through Sarah. She searched her room frantically. The ring was gone. She ran to her father, tears in her eyes. "Daddy, the ring is gone!" she cried. David feigned concern. "Did you say Bismillah, ir-Rahman, ir-Rahim before you put it away?" he asked. Sarah nodded, tears still streaming down her face. "Yes, Daddy, I did," she sobbed. That day, a fisherman was fishing in the ocean. He felt a tug on his line. He reeled it in. To his surprise, he found a fish. And inside the fish, he found the ring. He had heard about the missing ring from the village gossip. He knew exactly who to return it to. Section 6. The Power of Belief. The fisherman returned to the village. He went straight to David's house and returned the ring. David was astonished. He couldn't believe his eyes. He asked the fisherman where he found it. The fisherman explained about the fish. David was speechless. He realized he had been wrong. The phrase wasn't just words, it was a powerful expression of faith. He hugged Sarah tightly. "I was wrong, Sarah," he whispered. "You were right. God is real." From that day forward, David was a changed man. He started believing in God. He started saying Bismillah, ir-Rahman, ir-Rahim before everything. He had finally understood the power of his daughter's faith. He had witnessed the miracle of the ring. He knew that God was real, and he knew that God was merciful.